There we go. Hello, hello. All right, that's a little bit better. I was like, it's not working. It's so funny. Every weekend I update. This time was another graphics card update, and I was like, oh, I was like, there goes all the sound devices. If you guys can hear the little one, she's fighting mommy to come work with daddy today. She's gotten very addicted to mommy in the last 2 weeks, so she's being bribed right now. If you guys can hear the extortion. Will and Debbie, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. I did it myself the other day. I was like, oh, I forgot to redo it with that using that using my Amazon Prime, which I love. I use Prime for everything. Like, does anybody else out there do that? Do they start their Amazon searches with hitting the button that says, Prime only? Like, I can only do the Prime thing. Um, yeah, it's all for me. All right, so at least we've gotten some movement in the last 30 minutes. From the Natix presentation, it was funny. Everything was green, and I would joke with Todd. I'm like, hey, this is inflation. When every single currency pair is green, like, how is that possible when they're like counterplayed against each other? But every single one of them was green. It was pretty funny. Bailey just actually gave us some very interesting news that just came out. You guys can see it right here. That Bailey says he sees a substantial role for digital coins backed by assets. Basically saying that, and this is interesting too, cryptocurrencies on the whole are not a good means for making payments. Again, crypto is meaning the non country backed assets. I guess the digital currencies are the ones that they're really looking for, not the cryptos. So, and again, I think at this point everybody has kind of agreed with that. It's funny, you hear the proponents of it. They're like, "Oh, less than 1% of Bitcoin transactions are illegal." It's like, really? How do you know that if none of them are tracked? And we just saw, a huge, gigantic. I mean, yeah, maybe there's these little tiny Bitcoin transactions that aren't bad, but then when you see ransom, a ransom for God, how many millions of dollars was it? 5.2, 4.4, something like that. 5.3 million. It's hard to, you could have millions of little tiny transactions that are not illegal, but one of those really, really big ones, yeah, those are kind of illegal. So, I don't know. I mean, other countries have completely outlawed it for the same exact reason, and I think that's the direction that it comes in. So, at least Bailey is in. I feel like Bailey's more in touch with reality than what Pal is. I feel like Pal is just totally confused, is like totally lost. Um, I feel like his hand is going to be forced on Wednesday, so I'm going to make sure that I have the popcorn ready for Pal this week. Um, because put it this way, if he doesn't acknowledge anything with inflation, if he is like just like yeah, it's there, but we're not, we don't care, it's going to go away. Um, I figure that will be the final nail in the coffin for the Fed, that they will officially be wrapped into you know, they will officially be a government entity at that point, a government extension, because it's impossible to say that it's just not there, or even that it's transient. There's just absolutely no way at this point. We're seeing it in every part of the world, all across the board with all sectors. Just can't see it. So I don't know. It is what it is. Tonight, I think we'll have a decent. We have a good potential setup tonight with the Aussie having their monetary policy meeting notes. Aussie dollar is up right now. I think if we can get that to rally higher, I think that could be, again, higher on kind of a dollar weakness today. I think we could have, some potential rollover. I mean, we'll see what it does at the end of the day. It's got a long time to go. I mean, US Trader just got online about 9 minutes ago. So I think that could give us decent potential for, again, movement tonight. Is Australian monetary policy meeting going to be as FOMC? No, absolutely not. But maybe we can get something set up tonight. It could be an interesting. And again, I don't have it on the charts yet. I didn't even look at it yet, to be honest with you. But I think looking to see where we are with the knockouts, because we have so many days and there's so much potential for movement. I really feel like if we can get it into some type of knockout with some type of somewhat limited risk on it tonight before that release, that could be beneficial. Or even maybe afterwards. Maybe if we get a pop tonight because of good Aussie. Getting into a kind of longer duration short with a knockout could be interesting. Um, to the downside, right? To the downside, expecting that as soon as they mention raising interest rates or anything like that, that we're going to get a spike in the dollar. That could be an interesting play. And again, the premium won't be jacked as bad today as it will be tomorrow night or even on Wednesday. So it may be an easy way to get into something kind of, again, if you can get into something cheap, there may even be an opportunity. Like I said, I haven't looked at it yet. I haven't done much. Monday mornings is like kind of my time to kind of get rolling with things. There may even be something like a weekly like call spread that if we get it cheap, maybe with 20 $25 risk or something like that. I mean, again, gotta kind of see what the premium is looking like. But I think something a little bit longer duration this week may be a little bit easier to play. I'm afraid Wednesday, as much as I would say that this is going to be an awesome week to trade this news, I have a feeling that the spreads are going to be so jacked up on Wednesday, even with the small kind of 2 hour binaries. I feel like it would be. I feel like it's gonna be pretty difficult to find something that's decent. Maybe the 2 hours they will shed them and they won't be as bad. But I just feel like anything daily that could be affected by the dollar, I feel like is going to be completely jacked up this week. So we'll see where we go with it. Again, going into tomorrow, there is some news tomorrow before the regular presentation. Again, tomorrow we'll be on at 8:45 and then at noon. We're going to keep firm with those. But I think core retail sales and PPI tomorrow morning, I think, are both going to be nice setups. Again, it is kind of odd that we have them both kind of back to back like that, right on top of each other, kind of going in the same direction. PPI is expected to be slightly lower. If that comes in any bit above, again, I see dollar strength coming in. And again, retail sales is kind of funky, right? Core is going up, right? But yet the regular retail is going down 0.6. I feel like if that number is positive, I feel like, man, I mean, I feel like there's a lot there, right? There's a lot of potential for that one. So, and again, that will be the final preparation for the FOMC news on Wednesday. Not that Wednesday isn't packed as well. I mean, Wednesday's got all this in here, but a lot of it's CAD news, crude oil, and then bam, everybody's waiting for the Fed funds. It's not raising. Like, put it this way: if for some random chance they do raise it, it's because Powell is drunk, right? That means he is officially on the medicinal program. I think there's like a less than a 0.1 chance that they're raising it. But if it does happen, the indices are going to go through the floor. So, but I just it's not even really worth talking about because it just can't happen. So, and then again this morning early on, this is what we're expected to hear. And again, this is what we're hearing today, that he's going to be forced to quantify what moderate overshooting is. I said before, I mean, we assume that it's 2.5. He's got to say what it is. I mean, if he says like 3.5, there's going to be so much analysis about that. It's going to get kind of funky. But he's got to say what it is, right? The Fed saying that they're not convinced that inflation will prove sustainably high. I mean, I don't know. That's been their go-to, but I mean, even Yellen is like, yeah, of course we should raise interest rates. That's great. Powell is like the only one. He's the only one left. I don't know what they're looking at that we can't see. I mean, like I said, could there be something that we don't know about? Sure, could, right? Um, but I don't know what it is. And then talking about that they're going to look to do that one rate cut in 2023. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they're talking about 2023 as the first opportunity. We are at such highs right now. We're seeing great employment data. We're seeing, I mean, supposedly the recovery is already here. I just don't see how they can say, hey, you know what? We're going to run this for another year and a half, right? Another year and a half. We're going to do absolutely nothing for a year and a half. Like, what the heck would inflation look like after a year and a half when we're already seeing it now? Like, for them to be right, we're going to have such a crash. But what would be the basis for the crash? I mean, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I mean, I guess COVID-19 could come back, right? Maybe. But I feel like if that's what halts everything and drops us through the floor again, like, holy crap, like society's done. Like, then it's the locust and everything else. So I really just don't see how they can keep this 2023 target as the first time that we're talking about doing a hike when we're already seeing inflation, the numbers come back, and they're already talking about, yeah, I guess recovery is fragile, but sure, that's a term that they use all the time. But thus far, we're not really seeing it, right? I mean, Wall Street's booming, employment numbers are booming. We can't, it's definitely an employee. We talked about before about the tight and the loose labor market. I mean, employers can't hire people back fast enough. Then the wages are already starting to go back up again. They can't find people to work. So how is the recovery not here? And with unemployment benefits completely running out, the additional, in basically every state at this point, yeah, I mean, how's it fragile, right? At what point are we going to start slowly putting, binders on? Is the big question. Powell wants a way out of his job, I guess. I mean, he didn't have to take it. I mean, he can, it's not one of those ones where he has to do his term. Like, he can get out whenever he wants. But it's just, yeah, don't know, don't know. Like I said, the government's been trying to take control of the Fed forever. I feel like if he cannot be a force by himself, I feel like that's it. I feel like the Fed is officially done. Um, Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the rich people will finally take their money out of the Fed. That's all I can say. Um, all right, so let's dive over and look at some of these charts. Now, here's the dollar index. I've been watching this morning. This is a level we had talked about last week. We're not trading the actual dollar index, but again, you're watching this thing kind of, put lower highs in, lower lows in. I mean, I'm not a big channel guy, but it's very, very easy to draw a channel here and kind of stay within that same realm, right? Right. So definitely head more to the downside. And I think it makes sense. I mean, we had such a big rally up last week from news, right? Last Thursday, we skyrocketed, right? Ended the week, and now it's kind of like, huh. If this is, I mean, again, think about it. If they mentioned interest rate, that should be a pro dollar thing, right? A pro dollar event. If you want to get long dollar, again, that would make more sense for it to drive the price back down again to that same level at 90. We're at 90.45, right? Um, let's see. Let's see. True average range. Oh, it's on there twice now because I had it at the top and then it like disappears on me. So it looks like 5 cents. Well, I'm on 30-minute. Let me go to a daily. Hold on. Oop, not a weekly. Daily. Looks like 41 cents is the daily ATR on the dollar index. 41 cents takes us back. 41 cents is right here. Brings us right back to the 90. So that's what's capable in one day as far as movement goes. And again, that's a big day, right? We had huge movement, on Thursday. So we're within one day of coming back down to that 90 level. And again, 90 is a huge psychological number for the dollar index. If we can get back down there, I think we got to go long on Wednesday. Again, it's back into an area where we know buyers want to step in. So that's just kind of the overview for it. Let's go through all the currency pairs. Like I said, I haven't updated these. It was a busy weekend. I had my Diamondback Day for the kids, right? It's something that I've been working on for a couple weeks now, and it actually went well. We didn't get as many people as we are looking for. We were supposed to have a lot of the old alumni come back, and I guess there was a tournament that a lot of them had to help out at this weekend, but we didn't get the support they were looking for. But we had 4 teams worth of kids there, and everybody had a blast. It was great. I have pulled pork for days. Um, I've sampled it in many different ways, dry, with barbecue sauce, with a vinegar sauce. And then yesterday I mixed it up and threw some of the pulled pork from Saturday on top of some nachos, with a little bit of salsa, some cheese up there, the pulled pork on the top. Absolutely incredible. I was like, I'm going to get fat this week eating pulled pork. I didn't actually make it because I was doing so much other stuff, but I had three of my parents do it. Our little, parent pit masters, and we did interesting. It was funny. We had an interesting array. We had one guy that used hickory, we had one guy that used apple, and we had one guy that used peach and cherry, or peach and apple, I guess. I was trying to get somebody to use a cherry out there for some color, but it was good. Yeah, so I had a blast with that. So Aussie dollar, we're approaching a level. Again, this may be an opportunity. We're almost at that 10 o'clock time frame. It's a decent level. It's kind of in the middle. And again, if you wanted to draw fibs off of this one, it's probably right shallow of the 50%. But it's sitting there. It's something that you could trade. And again, it'd be a decent reversal for the morning. I do think this one climbs higher. And again, like I said, if we base in here, I would like this one to go higher. I think we have some decent ranges up top. And again, this is whoops. This is one of those trades right there that I think is it's a level that we had talked about from last week. I'm still good with that one, the 77.89. I'd love it if we can get all the way up there before the monetary policy news tonight, but unfortunately, that's 70 pips. I don't know if we'll be able to kind of overtake that one, before the monetary policy news. So it may be an opportunity in here, again, depending on what we do, and there's a few small levels here. This is actually not a bad top here. I don't know, did it hit that? Yeah, it went right through. We can adjust that into this level too. That may be another opportunity for the monetary policy tonight as well. Okay, kind of to keep that on your radar. All right, and then downside, obviously we got a bunch of room to run for this one as well. So there's not as much opportunity there. Okay, this one made it about 3/4, and the weekend happens. Let's remove that. Take that off. Let's bring this over. There we go. That works. And again, larger time frame, you can see we're red. Smaller time frame, which is kind of in this range from here to here. It's supposed to be set off of here, so we're a little bit shy. Let's bring. There we go. You can see we're in the blue area for that one, so not the ideal scenario. But that 88.90 up here, it's still definitely an area that I am very big in favor of getting shorts if we can get up to that level. All right, and Ernest, how was that? How was that meatloaf, by the way? I have never smoked meatloaf. I'm not sure. Like Melissa really likes it. She's very into meatloaf, but I don't know. I don't know. I was wondering how like smoky meatloaf would taste. You guys can see that this would retrace back, grab the level right there, and took off. We'll go lower with this one. I'm going to shrink this down a bit. We're going to go into there. Update these. This one got blown through with that news. You know what? We're going to erase the near side. We're going to keep this. We're going to bring this across. Actually, you know what? Let me go to 60. All right, so this should continue its way up. We're gonna probably hit some sellers in this area here. Like I said, it's not. It's kind of more of an aggressive entry. You know, could you take a short off of that one? Yeah. And this is again, this would be a level for tonight. That would be a level for tonight. Kind of a news-based one. A little push higher. Let's see how much room we got on that one. About 24. Yeah, it's possible. 24. That would be here. 2.3. 3 is there. That's decent. Um, it's not really smoke, just the subtle smoke from the coals. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, does it get a smoke ring too? Like, do you do all the cooking on there? Like, does it? And that's what I was kind of curious about. Does it make it all the way into the like the center? Like, does it get a smoke ring? And then because it's so thick, you know, like I mean, sous vide you can obviously get in the middle because you cook it for so long, the outside doesn't dry out. But like, how do you not dry out the outside of it? Like, are you jacking the fat content? Uh, all right. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Sorry. All right. So 105.06 again is I think what we do tonight. 84.30 below. I think either of these is set up for the news. And again, this is over here. Um, actually, I guess it's this one, but either of those two works. I forgot that I brought it up. So it could be something for here as well. Yeah, it'd be up in here. It'd be this news right here. So yeah, this would be moved over. Right there's fine. All right. Euro pound. So you can see Euro pound is whipping back, and we're seeing this push lower. There was some news this morning from Bailey, and again, I think the news from Bailey was pretty good. Like I said, talking about digital currencies, there was rumblings about the lockdown as well, but you can see for the most part, I'll bring this across. You can see the European Open was right here, and again, you can see it pull up and as it pulling and pulling back down again. We can remove the purples here. We overtook this area. I don't need that anymore. Just trying to clean these up so we can keep this one live. Let's see. Let's bring this up to an hourly. Yeah, I want to grab a lower. Mm. Oops. I'm going to pull level here. Kind of an aggressive level. Turn this green. We're going to set it up down there. This I can bring down. That I don't need. European Opens I don't need. This one, we're going to continue this across to there. Let's bring this over. This one, we based in there again. I don't need that one. All right. So, yeah. So you can see this one retracing back again. I think right now, based off of where we are, I think the two sides that we need to really focus on are the 86.39 and the 85.40. Either of them are different levels. And again, we've seen quick pops up to these levels and then push back down again. I mean, really, you can see that price has really been sucked into this zone a lot, right? I mean, even farther back than this. Look, You can see we're in, we peaked out, we peaked out, we peaked back down, we touched it again, touched the bottom, touched the top, came through, touched the top, peaked out, peaked out, peaked out, based along it, used it, came back up, peaked out again, came back, other side. This level has been just an absolute magnet, sucking price back and forth. So we really need to kind of clear and get away from it. Um, you know, for some reason it's the 86 figure. 86 is not, I mean, it's double zero, but it's not really the end all be all of kind of psychological levels there, but it has been such an area that we've been every time it goes up or down, it's always pulling back and looking, it's kind of like home base, right? So I think we needed a clear kind of up or down. 86.39, 85.04 is good. You can see there's a lot of different kind of news in the next couple of days here, and again, I'm on an hourly, but over the next couple of days there's a lot of different news releases in here. I think look for either two of them. I think of the two, again, I'm still much more bullish. The pound, I do see this coming back down again. I'd like for it to get to 86, but I think the reality is probably coming down to the 85.40 and then taking bounces back and forth, and probably back up to the same area. Like this should be. Let me make this nice and pretty here. This is probably where we're going to pull back to on any type of bounces. Look for it to kind of come down and then roll back up. Looking for kind of this type scenario. All right, and we'll see. Like I said, it's probably going to coincide with news of the turn or a European session open, but that's where we are right now. Right now, it's only 7 pips off, so it's not a ton. Euro dollar. I'm sorry, euro yen. So euro yen is grinding. We talked about getting short here last week, and again, we touched it, went all the way down, came back up, and went through again and went higher on the curve. So let me delete this. And again, we went through this level. We unfortunately didn't get all the way down. We were looking for this to come all the way down here to the 32.50 level. And it came down. It just didn't give it to us. And again, here is your, not surprising, there is your European session open at 3. All right, there's your 3. And that was the bottom. And since then, we've just pulled back. Now, we are getting into an area of sellers. We're going to bring this one a bit higher. Let's see. Can I pull it from a good level? I guess we're going to pull it from there. Yeah, it's the bottom candles. Yeah, from there. So you can see it did not touch. It got front run, but I think we got to keep that on our radar for the next touch through. And I think really that's where we'd focus on. I will say that there's a small level here. Again, we're coming to that reversal time. This is where the reversal would come in at, right around here. It is 10 o'clock, and the next 30 minutes is when we tend to see those. This is an hourly chart, so again, this is a little bit bigger. Let me bring it down so we can stay consistent. Yeah, I got to keep that right there. If we are going to get a reversal, you can see we're in the larger time frame pink, smaller time frame pink as well is right at that same level at 133.40. So this is an area to, right there, 133.55. 35 is right where the third level starts. So again, is it a potential short? Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is going to be pure the yen play at this point. We got 2 hours left of the European market, and I don't think any speeches. So we could see, a potential reversal of some profit taking. Like I said, it's been really just one direction with a minor pullback. 3 came up at 4 o'clock. We pulled back again, and they just continued to punch higher. We are at about 63 pips right now total. Right, 63 pips is what the day has been provided, and the ATR is 58. So it's basically told me it's moved its entire day already. But again, I could see a reversal push back to the downside purely based off the yen. Okay. Euro dollar. So euro dollar, you can see this was last week, and we were looking for potential, and it didn't even slow it down. Again, this was just it was late Friday in the afternoon. It was 12 o'clock on a Friday where basically the session is over. That would have been your profit taking from the open, and that was it. Then it did nothing. It came back up, and it stayed right. It's in that exact level, and then kind of did its pop through. So not really a level we can use. We can drag it down a little bit and use kind of this base where kind of the gap in the opening was. It was tested. Is it a level that I would say is high quality? Probably not so much. And the reason why is because it gapped to the reaches of the end of it, came up, touched it before finally taking off. Now, again, a lot of this is in the overnight. Here is where the market opened, right? There's the UK open. So, a few in the overnight I'm not as worried about, but, at this point I would say probably look for dollar strength to kind of creep in. We've seen a lot of dollar kind of weakness so far today. We talked about it, and it may continue. There's a small level here and a small level up top I think you need to watch out for. The next big level is obviously I can move this one across. I'm going to use this one to redefine the level. All right, we can redefine the level there. But again, as far as other levels you need to watch out for, I would say there's another kind of minor level sitting right there that I'd watch out for. So either 3 of these are potential reversals, and I think the euro dollar is a decent pair to play. We'll see what the Aussie news is tonight, but I think I'm assuming that we're going to get some dollar strength, at least some type of a whip up. Like I said last week, I do think we will get some type of a whip up. That would lead a whip down in this pair. I would like it if we can be higher. I think up here, either of these two levels, I think are decent. I think the 122 figure is an important figure. I think this is, I don't think we'll be here by Wednesday, but I think that's a reversal level. And I think this is also a decent level for Wednesday. It's going to take a lot to get up there. I mean, it needs to move about 70 pips, so it's over a day worth of movement that we need to get there. And you can see it's all kind of, stuck here. But the things that I'm looking for in the next 24 hours is obviously European Open. If we pull back down, I would be willing to take something long here for the European session. If we can rally up, again, for PPI and retail sales, I think either of these two figures are decent. So if we can continue to rally higher, and again, for tomorrow morning, I think there's a decent short there as well as there is a decent short here. Okay. Let me pull Nadex real quick. Let's see. Wanted to see where the knockouts were on this one. Dollar. I will say it was nice not having a completely packed weekend with U Sports. I'm kind of ready for summer where I have like 2 months of nothing. 121.87. Let's see, 121.62. No. 122.12. Oh, that one may be a possibility. Why is that there? 122.12. Oops. Okay, we got a knockout sitting right there, and then a 122.62. Oof, look at that. 122.62. Already there. All right, so there are some upside ceilings, which is not bad. Let me check call spreads real quick. Where we're at. I love how they're not in the correct order. 121.08. No, that doesn't do us any good. 122.33 is here. That's a little bit off. No, the weekly call spreads don't make sense for it. So you have to look for dailies. So after tonight, when they print, we'll see where we're at. But I think either of those are decent for shorts. Again, it's an okay long, but it's not my favorite of longs. Man, I don't even like any of these other ones over here. Those were old longs. I don't think we can use that one anymore. Probably need to bring this down to that level. Change out the green. Just steal this one. 120.50. All right, so that's probably what we got going on. Like I said, it's tested 3 times. The fact that we have all this space here, this may be an opportunity for us to take a short depending on where we're at between these two levels. All right, so maybe we look for a push through if we can come and start basing that level. Let's see, how much room have we got there? We got 43. That's not bad at all, and it's only about 8 pips risk. So yeah, maybe we look for a Harry Potter break of that one. Maybe we look for a potential coming through here if we can time that with a European session open, which would be right there. I missed it by 1. I missed it by just a little bit. Oh, it's pretty much on. Yeah. So that's another potential. If we continue to see the dollar strength today, have a grind down, start basing at like 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Take that one short. 120.91 to 120.45. We look for a short trade setup from here. Again, that's 3 to 3. There's your 1-3. So you can see there's a lot more room to run on that one to the downside. All right. All right, pound yen. So pound yen, you can see today has been gangbusters finally, right? And again, that the 3 o'clock window was actually here, right? So again, very quick spike down, but we knew with Bailey speaking and everything that there was going to be some risk on this one, and it makes sense. There's your tested level right there, right? And again, I guess there is where the start of the move happened. You can see it touch. So, the 4 o'clock window made sense on this one. I don't know if I would use that again, that same level. I mean, it's probably decent if we refine it a little bit lower. It would have to be down here, right there. Um, let's see how much did that rally? Yeah, it's 90. Yeah, so here was that last. I mean, again, these levels are not surprising levels. They were where we had targets at before. Let's extend this. Let's get all this ready for this week. Okay, let's lock that in. Let's pull this guy. Let me see. Knockouts for this one. Mm, where is it? Dollar yen. All right, so we got a 155.80, which again, it's all right. I think there's better opportunity on that one. And then a 156.30, which is up here. That may be a little bit off, a little bit far. And then we have downside 154.30, which is kind of right here. Again, very, very close, right? That would have been a snipe if you were able to get it, and a great trade if you were able to grab it. But that would have been a snipe trade this morning. And then below that, 152.80. Oh, I'm sorry, not 152. 153.80. I was like, whoa, what the heck? Oh, look at that. Put it right on. Wow. Doesn't happen every day. So again, kind of right near that same level. That would have to be a very, very quick one as well. Have to be a bit cautious about that one. So, but that's where our knockout ranges are today, or for the week. And not bad. Like I said, if you grab this one, props to you. That was a very fast grab. Again, close. I'd have liked if this was a little bit closer here. If this was in like the 156.20 range, it would be much better. Little bit far. But yeah, so at this point, I would say look for some profit taking on this one. This one is probably due to rollover. Again, we saw kind of something similar in the euro yen of it rolling. On a 30-minute basis, you can see. I mean, here I'll delete this. Again, we can see that we've had sellers step in this area. Right, this is an area where we have had many sellers step in. So, again, just a little bit above. It's having a hard time with this level now, and there's another level sitting right above with the wick over wick. Actually, I guess the wick over wick is right there, right? So I would say look for this one to kind of roll and flip. And let's see, price of this one is 155.31. Problem is there's a 155.30. I don't think I think it'll get stopped. That one's a hard one. I don't know. If we see some type of pattern like this, I mean, if we come up into here and then we start basing and we pull back again and we get like, if by chance we get like, some type of risk level like that sitting in there, then yeah, you could use that 155.30. But otherwise, I think if it was just a bit higher, it would be much better. So if we can get the base, there could be a short setup in there. Yeah, it's all right. Pound dollar. Again, pound dollar, you can see what it's running into. The seller is sitting right in here. It also coincides with what we've seen with the yen. I'm sorry, with the pound and actually the euro yen. You know, here is let's see, let's drag this across. Drag it to there. You can see that level held. And again, this was that 4 o'clock kind of open this morning. If you guys were here last week, you knew about that level. Let's extend these across. Okay. We pop through there. That's where it's having problem. And you can see, look at this. Base, 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 base. test, came back up, hit it, dropped, went higher, boom, boom, and then just sucked into that same zone. So um, definitely an interesting area there for our area of interest. We can remove this. Let's see. Knockouts for this one for Forex. All right. All right. Where current price is right now, we're at 141.12. There's 141.66 right there. Not really a big fan of that one. Yeah, that's 141.66. 142.16. 142. 142.16 is in the middle of the range too. Well, that's boring. See where are we at downside. 140.66. That I think is a decent level. That is a good one. Again, if we can get back down there before, well, maybe not for PPI, but maybe if we get to that for the open. 66 and then 140.16 would be down here, which is a little bit far, but maybe we keep that for later this week. Okay. Yeah, that one's not bad. I think that if we can push back down there for the European Open tomorrow, again, European Open is there. Try to grab that one away, but I missed the mute button. I like grab my hand. I'm like, that could be a decent short, right? If we get the dollar strength the rest of the day and push down, that could be an interesting kind of long opportunity for us to go off the UK Open with a knockout bracket in there. And there shouldn't be that much in there. And again, that's one you could potentially put in the overnight, drop it down there, and put in like $15, $20 worth of risk. Take that for a nice little pop. So that's a potential. And again, coming right back up to the same level, it would take over about 30 something pips. So again, I think it has the ability to run higher, but we'll see. All right, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, I'm waiting for this to collapse. We had this area over here where we talked about 121.32 in the past. We never got up to it. It did go short, and again, we've driven through really since the 11th forward. So again, we're looking for a base right now. We're looking for this to come back down again. I guess I missed it by just a little bit. Drives me nuts sometimes. Let's pull. I don't need that. Let's establish this. Let's pull this across to there. Let's pull this here. We need a level of risk in here. I don't have it yet, unfortunately. I don't need that. All right, let's establish a new. That's good. That is good. Let's put this in. Lock. We don't need that because we have it drawn here. And again, if you guys are surprised by this, 1, 2, 3, you could say that that's a 4, but yeah, like blew right through and came back through. We're looking for the short off this level. Oops. It's only about 11 from that range. We may short this down a little bit here. Again, I'm looking for a Harry Potter on this one. 1 to 3 is sitting right there, which is a decent level. Oh, you know what? I should have deleted that one. Something along those lines. Again, we gotta wait for a clean break, and I like to see it pull down a little bit and then pull back. But right now, it's basing where it's supposed to be basing. So I'm cool with that one. But it's a break of 130. I'm sorry, 121.31. It's a push to the downside. Okay. What is it? Control temp too high and it dries out. Cook at 320. Well, I would assume 325 would be a bit high. Smoker is just a charcoal powered oven minus cakes. Yeah, I see. I would imagine 325 would be a bit would dry it out a bit. All right, dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss, we were looking for a push off this level. Here's kind of the whipping back and forth. We did get it later on the 11th, and again went higher. This is the level we talked about saying not really into it, and again it did get sliced through. You can see that the second one held down lower. Um, let's see, we have this top up here. Um, this one's pretty much just sideways, right? I mean, let's see. There's the open. Let's drop this down. Yeah, look. This is basically sideways. Flip this way. It's a little easier sometimes. Yeah. But there's your movement so far today. So not a whole lot there, and it's running into an area. There are some sellers. I would say kind of the same thinking. Like I would be okay if we got to this level again. I think top and bottom, the 90.47, which we talked about last week, the 89.32. Again, it's been something we've had been focused on. You can see that here's our shorter term level. Let's unlock this one and we'll move it to the side to continue this one's out. Let's drag this, pull this over as well. That's a higher time frame. We'll leave that there. Yeah. So I mean, it's the same levels. We're sitting smack in the middle right now. We're in the blue area. So neither of them is really great. 90.46, 89.32. Again, I know it's been hit. We've used it now twice. I think by the way that it came down and the push off of it, I think it's good for probably one more. But right now, I'd expect this to kind of roll, and I'm okay with that. I would like this to be down here. I don't think we're going to get there before tomorrow morning. It's about 60 pips worth of movement, but maybe we can get some a sudden shift in dollar weakness, particularly in the European session. Maybe they'll help drive it down there. But if we can get here for this news release, which is all sitting right here, I think that's a decent getting long point in both spot as well as Nadex. Dollar yen. So dollar yen is just driving. So we had this area from last week. We talked about going long at the top, and unfortunately, it gave us one whip, and then it came straight back down again. We really didn't get the Harry Potter entry. But if we continue this zone across, you can see that we got our base, and then again, we started the week there inside of that same gapping level. And then at 5:30 this morning, you can see this trade right here would have come to fruition yet again. So really, we didn't really get the pull. We didn't get the basing here. We did here, but it was late in the day on Friday, which is not really our ideal target. But when we opened there, we knew that that was all of a sudden a level to get long as well. And again, the same trade setup we talked about here came to fruition, and now you are pretty much out. I mean, this is a 1-6. 1-3 was sitting here. So you can see we're well above the 1-3 at this point, and has been a decent runner, but it's only one direction. There's your 30 pips, and 5:30 was the magical time. So again, there's your gap play, your Sunday night gap higher. I think this one has the ability to run up to 110.27. This will be an interesting position to trade later in the week. We can continue these across. I think we could probably take one more because of the gap. And again, I'd be a little bit more cautious with this short. But if we come down in base again, we do have one touch, two touches. If we bounce off of a 3, again, a short below 109.58, I think is also decent, particularly because we have a double bottom here, right? A mirror wick, right? Two exact spots, meaning there's nothing. And then we need to run basically from here down to like here, right? If it breaks, and that gives us what, probably down to here is about 26-30 pips, 29.5 to this level here. So be pushing down to that level. And again, that's over a 1-3. So again, position size yourself accordingly. But right now, I'd be looking for a top. But I think if we can come up in just greens, 110.26 is a decent level. But this was an easy one. Hopefully, you guys were able to grab that one. Let's go across. Let's look at the indices real quick. And ES is pushing down. There was a little bit of a bounce at the open today. I feel like this pair is just lost. Like I said, interest rates are obviously bad for this. The talk of interest rates. But here's where we ended Friday. We kind of opened here, and we're at the exact same place we opened on Sunday night. So I wouldn't say that this one has had tons and crazy bit of movement either way. I still think 42.50 with a kind of anemic Fed speech, I think goes higher. Retail sales, I think, will help this. If we can get a positive, so here's an interesting scenario. If tomorrow we can get a positive retail sales, but PPI is lower than expected, that would be a great scenario. So we'd be looking for red here, green here, green here, or like positive, higher than expected. That would show us that we have great sales data, but we're not seeing the inflation on the back end. That would be a great opportunity for ES to go higher. But right now, I would say, let And really, the wicks from the news last week kind of screwed this analysis up a bit on the lower time frames. We know we have a very clean level down below, like I said, if we run all the way down to this level at 41.95, we know that something's blowing up. Top side, I still think 42.50 is a target once we can find some stabilization. Um, I hesitate to draw this on there as an area. I mean, it's a base, but it's a base at on the 11th, right? It was last week, so it's kind of different news. There's a small area here. There's not a whole lot on there. I mean, hmm, how far are we? What time is it? It's 4:10:30. I would say that it's probably a decent level to get a reversal off of. And again, if it's been nothing but negative today, you would expect this one to kind of turn and roll back up again. Obviously, the sentiment seems to be like, hey, listen, the Fed's going to nuke us this week. Um, no, just talking about Fibonacci retracements in gold. Like I said, all this talk about inflation is not good for the overall indices. I would say it's a potential reversal area, but be cautious. If we start the base in there and we come down and we're basing and we go into lunch basing sideways, then it's probably a continued short for the day. Um, it looks like the market is finally starting to be like, he's going to mention inflation. Yeah. Let's go to NQ. All right. So NQ you can see is also just stellar in movement, right? Gap, up, flatlined, shot down, pull back up. Oh, sorry guys, I sneezed again. I apologize if you guys heard that when I try to pull it away again. Man, my allergies must be going crazy again. I would say I'm still looking for the same setup here. I'm looking for a break of 13. Oops, not that. I was trying to grab this right there. A break of 13,927. I would say that NQ is really just kind of not sure what it's going to do today. And again, the whipsaw back and forth doesn't, it's the same thing. And again, here was your area of interest, top, pierced through, boom, 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 and then went through it. So we'll remove it. We can clear it. I'd say small levels that we need to watch out for. I'll just take this one and move it over here. It's just easier that way. There are your two levels. Talk about a whipsaw open. Look at that. Straight. How much was that whip in the first 15 minutes? 81 points. Wow. Open was straight down. Everyone's like, okay, it's going to be a bad day. Came back up again. Oh, no, we're rallying. We're above. And then boom, right back down again. So, yeah, NQ was whipping some people. I'm sure there are some futures traders that have lost some money this morning, right? Um, yeah, there are some strategies being busted this morning. I would say at this point, I mean, if it's going to stay negative, short this thing below 13,927, and again push down until the last pullback. So again, this is quite a large. You guys can see it here. I'll move it over so we can keep it small. That entire area is an 8-to-1 or 1-to-8, right? It's a 1-to-8 level, so there's a lot in there. YM, yeah, YM. I'm not surprised. Dow pushing a little bit lower, and again, Dow's already set up. I would say, I mean, we had a small area that we talked about here, but there's nothing really until either of these two levels. So I would say the Dow has more room to run. And again, retail sales is a big one for the Dow. Yeah, I mean, this one started rolling at 9:30, never had the pullback. Again, this should have been your target to the downside had you gotten short in this one. So let me go check this level out. Would I use that level? That one went. Whoops. Do I need that area of interest anymore? Nope. It's been two. Oh crap! I just moved it. Right. That I'm going to say green. This one's it's going to depend on when we touch. Let me see knockout. got done there? 34,000. There is a knockout bracket here. Nope. Okay, there's a knockout right there. Oh, it looks like they did them every 100. So we got one there. And then we have one there. Could be an interesting one too. Let me see top side. Top side we have 34,400 is our first, which is there. It's not a bad level. It's okay. 34. And then we have a 34,500, which I definitely like. That could be an interesting one too. We'll just leave those two right now. So yeah, that one's playing out pretty interesting. I like the 34,000. I think that's a great place to get long. Again, we have it at 34,000 and 34. And again, if it breaks at 34,000, that breaks our zone anyway. So I think that's a decent one to come off of. We'll see if we can get that low. Like I said, that would be another one of those retail situation. Tomorrow was good. PPI is a miss. Retail green. I think that gives us a nice solution to kind of go higher. So those could be worth an end of the day rally as well. All right, oil. So oil is moving. It basically since 7 o'clock, it was heading straight up. We were retracing kind of back and forth. There's the same window, and we'll go to 430. Actually, I guess I need to move that. Hold on. 815, 830 goes to there. So let's shrink this to that level. Change that to the orange. So right now you can see oil. I mean, here's the thing about oil. I like oil going higher. We are in a larger time frame zone up here between the 7170 and the 7270. So it's a big area. I think this is a daily level that we looked on. And again, it's going to be, anything above 71, anything above 70, it's kind of like, man, this is high. And yeah, we are. We're definitely high in the curve. Tomorrow's retail sales as well as PPI production, I think, are going to be important for this one. I wanted this one to go longer, and I was talking about any type of a pullback, and we did. We got a little bit of a pullback. It's still up about 30 cents from where we talked about it, but at this point, we'd be running out of steam. Being at 10:30, we should be looking for profit taking and reversal at this point. And it really didn't give us the cleanest of entries. I mean, this is a 15-minute candle, and you see we can barely see it on there. Here's your 30-minute candle. It literally came up, the open happened, and then went right back up, and we're kind of stuck. So I do think with everything going on, as you guys know, Benjamin Nean, whatever, how you say his name, he is officially out. There is a new extreme right prime minister for Israel. Although he only runs the government for 2 years, and then a centralist takes over. So I don't know. I don't know how that works. So I guess Nean, how do you ever say his name? Ben, good old Ben, he can destabilize it enough and then force a vote. He can force a vote inside of like the coalition and take over power again if he wants. And then there's the guy that worked for him, the guy that took over. He's an extreme right guy, actually worked for Ben, and he's got 2 years and then supposed to turn over. I don't know why he couldn't destabilize the coalition and then have himself voted in as well. So I guess it's wishful thinking that you're going to take over for 2 years and then another guy's going to peacefully just take over as well. Don't know how that all works, but it's obviously providing some, instability. You can see there's no oil news today, but we'll see. I think at some point this does roll back, trying to establish more buys. I do think with recovery, the way that they've managed it, they've played it perfectly. I do think we need to stay bullish for oil, even though we're in this upper area. But we got to chunk through the sellers sitting here. But I think we do go higher this week, unless we have absolutely dismal inflation data. But I think retail sales and PPI are both going to be. I think they're both going to be positive on the positive side, and I think that helps rally us a bit higher. Now, gold obviously is coming back again. It's kind of funny too. Look at this. So gold has been negative, really. Just straight down, really, since the parabolic move happened. And then we based, and then we started. We went from the 11th to the 13th. Yesterday, and we continue just to drive lower. Now, it's funny that it turned on this level. And again, this is the US trader. And you can see that really at 8:30 this morning, 9 o'clock is when this one finally stabilized. Does this have to do with any of the news over here? I mean, could that have anything to do with Paul Tudor Jones this morning at 8:30 saying that, not only this, but, you know, he bets heavily on every inflation trade, right? Is it coincidence that the moment he says that gold turns? And again, the inflation-based trade is gold. So not so much. I mean, it was a decent rally. I think the big questions for gold is where does it position itself in the next 48 hours to get there? I think this wants to come lower. Um, Again, I see this being a big spike on Wednesday. Regardless of what they say, I think there's going to be a big spike on Wednesday. Question is, are we going to come up and are we going to stabilize and use like a level like this to stabilize off of and have that be our launching point, or will it roll off this parabolic move and come back down again to be able to launch off from? Again, we know buyers are stepping in. Buyers are protecting that level, and that's it's a level that we had buyers kind of protect over here last time. So these are old ones. Again, I could drag this. This is a break. I don't need that level anymore. I can bring that across. And you can see even where that level was, you can see that it chopped back and forth here, right? So yeah, got to keep that on the radar. And again, look at that. Had you used that level? I was looking for just a little bit lower. I hit that little I missed it by a very, very tiny bit. Yeah, you can see it's well over. I mean, it's at a 6-to-1 reward to risk. So, yeah, decent runner. But again, I think this level is worth it. I'd look for some stabilization. If we see some stabilization here, again, I would look for a short. I do think it comes back lower in anticipation for having a big day. Oh, it's right there. Something along those lines. We'll see if we can get the stabilization at end of day. Maybe it comes up and stabilizes and start to punch through, and it's decent. But yeah, look at that. It's crazy that it turned off of that one. I needed a little bit lower, and I was waiting for kind of like a headline, but looks like it hit early. So it's what it is. Silver, on the other hand, silver is also had the same rally, and again, this is the same. We've had this here for a while. There was news, pulled up, grabbed off the same exact people, came into it, at the exact same spot. So have pushed it higher yet again. I would say right now, again, the 2816 was a level we talked about. It did peek its head just slightly above, but that would have been your profit target from last week. Probably an area to watch out for. Now, the top of this is very wiki. This is very difficult to kind of do any analysis on. Here, and then again, there was our one news release. Hold on one sec. I felt that one coming, and I got to it in time. So I did not sneeze in your ears this time, guys. If we can by chance get down to the 2718, I like it. I mean, look at all the buyers over here. But it's going to be another one of those scenarios where, what is it, 16th? 16 at 2. 16 at 14. Right there. That's going to be the big question, is where are we when we approach this level right here? Okay. I don't need that one. We'll extend those across. Pull that. And let's pull that. Let's pull this. That's what we're looking for right there. All right. And look at this. Went from red, touched just barely into the green, and now we're punching back to the red again. So. Oops, not that one. It's not what I was trying to make 3D. Why does it keep doing that? I want this one. Oh my God. There we go. So yeah, so we got our little bit of a bookend here. 2816. 2756 have been our tops and bottoms. So yeah, I look for 2816. Again, the way that this formed with the gap and everything, look for a potential roll over there. I don't really have any call spreads or anything on that one. So, actually, silver. Do we have one here? 28. No, it's 28.91. It's way the heck up here. 28.91 all the way here. Bottom side, 26.91. 26.91. Just a bit far. A little bit far on that one. Um, I don't know. Maybe this is worth looking at on Wednesday. I don't know that there'll be as much premium jacked into this one. And remember, right? So for inflation, the Bitcoin people are not trading gold; they're trading silver. So I'm wondering if there will not be as much premium jacked into this. I have a feeling gold is just going to be absolutely insane. The gold futures are going to be insane. Silver may be an easier way to play this one. So what the kind of, I don't know what to see. There may be an opportunity in this one. Maybe if this one is like the hidden low premium trade. Um, yeah, maybe. Maybe it's there. All right, let's go ahead and do the drawing for today. It is 10:36. I need to go steal the girl back from mom, so mom can start working today, and then we'll see. I think I'm gonna go out and start dropping my knockouts on everything in preparation. I need to go back and kind of go through all the currency pairs and drop the knockouts and see where we could, you know, make sure that we have them all marked for a little bit more for Wednesday. I don't know who that is. All right, so let's go ahead. We got 6 people in today's drawing. I don't even know what that is. The relim? You ever get like a weird? It's not like It's like a weird message. It says the relim company. I don't know. It's like not an unknown number because I refuse. If it's just a random number, there's no caller ID, and I don't know who it is, I am not answering. I just don't do that. But sometimes you get like one that's an actual company. It's like, is it somebody that's like using their cell phone and had it for something else? It's like, do I know that person? Being like the commissioner of like my the Suns youth team, I get like random calls from people like, "Hey, I had questions about this." It's kind of funky. All right, this is it, guys? This is it. We got six people in, 6 tickets. All right, call him BB. I guess he's got legal issues. Yeah, yeah. Ben has I guess there's corruption issues that he's dealing with. Um, But the fact that they voted in a far right guy is kind of interesting. I didn't think that there was, I thought the cycle of the far right winning was kind of going back again. So, but yeah, he's got some issues. Um, but yeah, I mean, politics, corruption. I mean, it's all the same thing, right? All right, let's go ahead and close the giveaway for Monday. Winner of today's drawing is Debbie. Look at that! Congratulations, Debbie. Debbie gets her 25 on a Monday, starting the week off right. Leaderboard. And again, no Neuro today. I had to actually post in chat myself. I think Neuro was partying it up this weekend. Ooh, look, more people are getting long. Now it's up to 76. It was 75 a little while ago. Now I'm curious. Let's see. Oh, that's getting so close. What is gold doing? What is gold doing? Oh, it's starting to pause. Everybody's getting long. It's like, just go a little bit more and then reverse on me. It's 10:30. Come on, reverse. Yeah, I feel like Neuro is he was sleeping today. He was sleeping. So, all right. Well, that's it for today. Like I said, I think a lot of this movement coming in is good. It's nice to see what the retail trader sentiment is. It looks like the rest of the world is all about getting, you know, at least today it was all about, hey, let's get the dollar cheap. Let's get that dollar cheap. And then bam, let's take advantage of the retail trader. So let's see if they set some more traps. I'm really looking forward to Wednesday trading. Like, I think it's going to be a really good Wednesday. I even think tomorrow morning is going to be fun. But remember, a lot of it's beforehand. So if you're trading tomorrow morning, drop down to those 30-minute levels, see what they have, check out the dollar index. Don't forget to look at the dollar index tomorrow morning. See if we're maintaining the same channel. And you can see, look, we came to the bottom, came back up, and then rolled back over in the last 30 minutes. So it's maintaining its channel back to the downside. But again, it will probably have some sticking points, most likely in this area, probably from that wick over wick. That'll be the big question is is that where we hit and go sideways? All right. So watch those for news tomorrow. With that said, I'm out of here. If you need anything, message me on Discord. And yeah. So I have boys' graduation this week, but I think as of next week, we'll be back on to go broadcast every single morning. So, and I was thinking of some cool ideas, things that we can do for the summer. Um, I was thinking about maybe doing. I don't know. I'm trying to look for like challenges and things like that we can do for the summer. Have some fun things. And again, I was asked about doing kind of just I don't know, a couple different ideas. If you guys got any ideas of fun challenges that we could do for this summer, go ahead and put them in Discord. There's a couple different things that I had in mind with, Nadex challenges. Again, we can use FTMO for challenges as well if we want, because it's tracked and obviously you can't. There's no way to fake that because it's tracked through a website that I can see. So maybe we could do it that way. But just had some cool ideas of things that we could do for the summer to have some fun. Um, for me and Ernest, it's like celebrating the end of Zoom school, right? Where we're getting time back and I'm not managing children nonstop. But yeah, think anything, please let me know. All right, you guys have a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you tomorrow.